Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2020 Annual General Meeting of Westoba Credit Union Limited. Thank you for joining us tonight and taking an interest in your credit union. My name is Jim Abernethy, and I'm the Chair of the Westoba Board of Directors. We are doing things a little differently this year, and for the first time in our history, we're conducting our Annual General Meeting virtually. A few housekeeping items before we begin. Please note members have the ability to send in questions or comments through the question button located at the top right-hand corner of your screen. You can submit your questions at any time, and they will be answered during the question and answer period of the meeting. All questions will be read out loud during this time with your name and question. When motions are called to order, members will have 2 minutes to accept, deny, or abstain from the vote. We have some special guests with us tonight, and I'd like to take a moment to introduce them. From Deloitte, we have Zach Roberts. From Concentra, we have Audrey Wilkinson. From Cumis, we have Jeff Johnson, Cindy Loney, and Kyle Mitchell. From Deposit Guarantee Corporation of Manitoba, we have Nicole Levesque. From Fusion Credit Union, we have CEO Darwin Johns and Board Chair Guy Huberdeau. From TDS Law Firm, we have Paul Roy and Renee Molgat. And from Vallejo, we have Mark Cushel. To get started, I'd like to present this evening's agenda. After reviewing the agenda, I'd like to ask if there are any additions, and if so, please enter them into the question feature now. You will have 1 minute to submit any additions. As seeing none, I will call for a motion to accept the agenda as presented. You will now have 2 minutes to accept the movement of the agenda by the voting screen that will be appearing shortly. And that motion is carried. Thank you. I would now like to call on Liz Roberts, our Board Secretary, for the notice of meeting and establishment of quorum. Please stand by as we switch presenters.
Good evening. Bylaw 502 states, the credit union shall hold its meeting in accordance with the Act. Part 6, Membership Section 61 of the Act states, the directors of a credit union A shall call an annual meeting of members, which shall be held within 4 months after the fiscal year end of the credit union, to consider the annual report of the directors, the financial statements, and the auditor's report, to appoint the auditor, to elect directors, and such other matters as may properly come before the meeting. And B, may at any time call a special meeting of members. Notice of meeting, Bylaw 506, in the table of particulars states, notice of meeting of members shall be not less than 14 days and not more than 30 days before a meeting. Method of giving notice, Bylaw 701 states, any notice shall be sufficiently given if delivered personally to the person to whom it is to be given, or if delivered to the person's recorded address, or if mailed to the person at the person's recorded address, or if sent to the person's address by means of prepaid, transmitted, or recorded communication, or by insertion of the notice in a newspaper or other publication distributed in the community or area in which the credit union conducts its business. Quorum and adjournment. Bylaw 511 in the table of particulars states, the quorum for members' meetings is 25 members. I am advised that we have 115 members registered and in attendance. Therefore, I declare this meeting properly constituted. You will now have 2 minutes to accept the motion to proceed with the meeting.
And that motion is carried. Thank you. Everyone in attendance would have been able to access a copy of the minutes from the 2019 AGM from Westoba's website. You will now have 2 minutes to approve the adoption of the minutes provided prior to the meeting on our website. And that motion is carried. Thank you. But if you are having trouble voting, try refreshing your browser. Before we move into the board report, I'd like to introduce our 2019 Board of Directors. From District 1, which includes Brandon and Maxa, we have Don Green, our Board Vice Chair, Liz Roberts, our Board Secretary, and Garnet McBurney. From District 2, which includes Carberry, Souris, Rivers, The Pas, and Glenborough, we have Al Morgan, Henry Marinek, and myself, Jim Abernethy. From District 3, which includes Killarney, Ninette, Cartwright, Swan Lake, Pilot Mound, Larrivire, and Winnipeg, we have George Henderson, Rick Lucier, and Douglas Kamani. As a representative of Westoba's Board of Directors, it's my pleasure to present you with the Chair Report for 2019. To me, nimble is a mindset. It's an attitude Westoba holds as an organization and one our staff display every day. Nimble is a way of looking at things, solving problems, and approaching opportunities. At its core, it's about being agile and responsive to our members' needs. Westoba is proud to help make our members' financial dreams come true, and a nimble approach helps us deliver on that mission. 2019 marked another year of transition and growth for Westoba, with technology driving change and improving member service delivery. Significant updates to our information technology infrastructure opened the door for enhanced member service. Members can now enjoy free Wi-Fi in all branches, fewer service interruptions and delays, quicker response times from our Manitoba-based virtual services team. We have implemented artificial intelligence-based security platforms from both Microsoft and Darktrace. An artificial intelligence-powered chatbot was launched to help members book mortgage appointments and answer general mortgage questions. By continuing to invest in technology, Westoba is making sure that members can securely bank how they want, when they want. Westoba sees the value of aligning ourselves with community and business partners, committed to building stronger communities for our members. Our multi-year naming rights agreement with the Keystone Centre in Brandon continues to be a key partnership. Combined, the well-used facilities of Westoba Place and the Westoba Ag Centre of Excellence hosted over 725 events that brought in hundreds of thousands of people in 2019. Early in 2019, Westoba made a significant sponsorship commitment to the Tim Hortons Briar. This nationally televised curling event was held in March at our own Westoba Place in Brandon. Big events like this have a significant economic spin-off. With attendance reported at 70,000, Westoba was proud to help bring this exciting event to curling fans across the country. As an employer, Westoba believes in providing learning and growth opportunities to local students enrolled in post-secondary institutions. Every year, we actively recruit and hire summer students in a variety of roles throughout the organization. 6 students joined our team in 2019, and we are grateful for their many contributions. To further support upcoming generations, Westoba recently entered into a 5-year naming rights agreement with the Assiniboine Community College in Brandon to sponsor the new digital classroom at its Victoria Avenue East campus. This state-of-the-art space is the first of its kind for ACC and brings together design and smart technology to facilitate active learning. The Carberry Drop-In Centre and the Rivers 50 Plus Club were both thrilled to receive support from the Westoba Credit Union Inspire program in 2019 for kitchen upgrades to their facilities. Providing funding to these initiatives not only supports seniors in these communities, these investments also go a long way in supporting other community organizations that use their facilities. This is only just the beginning of the support we provided in 2019. Since the introduction of the Westoba Inspire, our community investment program, we have helped all of our communities by a total of more than $163,000. To learn more about the Inspire program, I encourage you to visit westobainspire.com. A critical part of achieving financial success is having strong financial literacy skills to help guide your decision making. In 2019, Westoba's 2 coaches trained 7 trainers in the successful credit union created Each One Teach One National Financial Literacy Program. The program includes 17 workshops on a variety of topics, from basic budgeting to managing good credit to reviewing investment options and more. To date, Westoba instructors have delivered a dozen workshops in our communities. Our goal is to expand our reach significantly by delivering even more workshops in more communities and virtually. As a member-elected board, keeping our members informed about and connected to their credit union is important to us. Our digital channels provide efficient and effective ways to communicate with you. and stats show you are engaged. In 2019, we grew our social media following by 28% on Facebook and 71% on Instagram, and our new e-newsletter distribution increased by 18%. Through digital channels, we hope to not only keep our members informed about our products and services, but also provide you with financial advice that is both valuable and timely. The role of your Westoba board is to set the strategic direction for the credit union. Translating strategy into action is what the talented and committed Westoba employees do day in and day out. Westoba staff do this with the best interest of our members at heart. As one of those members, I sincerely thank our employees for the great work and continued commitment to exceptional service. As we look to 2020, we know that there will be challenges ahead. Recovery from COVID-19 will take time, but when we do reach our new normal, rest assured, Westoba will still be here for you. As a credit union, we have worked hard in recent years to position ourselves to weather difficult times like these. Our work is paying off, ensuring we can continue to adjust our approach as the situation evolves. In closing, I offer my sincere thanks to all our members who continue entrusting Westoba with their financial needs. Thank you. I'll now call for a motion to approve the chair report. Members will have 2 minutes to vote. Seeing the motion is carried, I'm now pleased to introduce our CEO, Mr. Jim Rediger, to present the CEO report. Please stand by as we change presenters.
Good evening. My name is Jim Rediger, President and CEO of Westoba Credit Union, and it is my pleasure to present Westoba's 2019 report. I'm pleased to announce that 2019 proved to be another financially strong year for our credit union. Westoba continues to meet crucial regulatory capital requirements with results that are well above the 10.5% capital requirement. At the end of December 2019, Westoba was at 11.1%. Our assets grew to more than $1.37 billion, and our net income before tax was over $3.1 million. As always, making sure our members have access to strong rates is important to us. Our long-term investment offerings like preferred shares paid a dividend of 4% in 2019. We also provided members with competitive mortgage and loan rates that continuously moved with the marketplace. In 2019, we dispersed 545 new mortgages and secured nearly $145.5 million in personal loans. This is an increase of 12% over 2018. Catering to our members' evolving needs and delivering convenience was a top priority in 2019. We focused our efforts on our digital banking service, Maxa Financial. By improving user experience through our website, we created an easier and more convenient way to bank digitally. We are pleased to report our Maxa deposits grew 22.7% in 2019. Maxa is a great online investment option that offers highly competitive rates to members across Canada while helping Westoba meet its liquidity requirements. We highly recommend looking into Maxa Financial if you have not already, as it may be a good fit for you. In the area of loans, we successfully introduced 2 mobile mortgage specialists to our team based in Winnipeg and Brandon. These highly knowledgeable mortgage experts offer member service based around flexibility and can meet when and where members want. Our mobile mortgage specialists work to provide mortgage packages specific to each member's needs and are in high demand. Over the course of 2019, we are proud to announce they helped secure $25.5 million in mortgages. Westoba also transformed our teleservice center in 2019 from strictly transactional support and created a virtual services department that operates as a full-service branch. This is simply one more convenient way members can apply for lending, make investments, or open accounts, all without leaving the comfort of their home. In 2019, a significant part of Westoba's growth came from the Winnipeg market. Consisting of 1,759 members, we made significant inroads in achieving one of our top priorities of becoming Winnipeg's lender of choice. Westoba successfully secured over $72 million in loans, mortgages, and lines of credit. Between our two Winnipeg branches, the average annual asset growth rate was over 100%. This number is astonishing and a great success for 2019. Given most Manitobans reside in and around our provincial capital city, continued growth in this market remains a critical focus for our future business plans moving forward. Being trusted and knowledgeable financial advisors has always been a key priority of ours. Westoba has a team of over 100 staff in member-facing roles, providing our members with the right financial products and services to meet their needs. Over the past few years, we have invested considerably in increasing our number of financial planners. We also extended these services to the Winnipeg market with the addition of a senior financial planner with over 14 years of experience. We believe in the power of a good financial plan to set members up for long-term financial success, and it has been proven you, our members, also see the value. In 2019, our Financial Planning Solutions Department saw net sales of our assets under management increase by approximately $7.3 million. This is an increase of over 8% from 2018 and ranks us 16th within the credit unions that use a visa for wealth services. Moving forward with our Inspire Community Giving program, we celebrated its second anniversary in 2019. Westoba distributed almost $30,000 to worthy causes through the biannual application process overseen by our Community Investment Committee. With a focus on helping build infrastructure, we are proud to be making long-term impacts in the communities we serve. As we move into more recent events, this year has been filled with a lot of uncertainty as COVID-19 is having a significant impact on all of us. It gives me comfort to know that Canada's financial system is among the strongest in the world, and regulatory requirements put in place after the 2008 financial crisis has helped prepare credit unions for situations like this. I am thankful we are in a position that allows us to do what we can to help make things easier for everyone. Westoba is proud to be currently offering the Canada Emergency Business Account Loan Program to our members during this time. To date, we have helped over 300 business members gain funding from CEBA. To keep our staff and members safe, we also changed how we deliver service and how we work behind the scenes. We are paying special attention to finding solutions for those hardest hit and will continue to adjust as the crisis evolves. We are in this together. Thank you very much. You will now have 2 minutes to vote on a motion to approve the CEO report. Please remember to refresh your browser if you are unable to see the voting screen. Thank you. The motion has been adopted. I would now like to take the time to introduce my fellow executive team members. Janet Wood, our Chief Experience Officer. Janet joined Westoba in 2017 as Chief Innovation and Culture Officer, and in 2019 assumed the role of Chief Experience Officer, bringing together our member experience, which includes retail banking, business banking, and financial planning, and our employee experience, including IT, marketing, human resources, project management, and continuous improvement. Manon Pascal, our Chief Risk and Finance Officer. Manon joined Westoba Credit Union in 2013 as our Manager in Accounting and Finance. From there, she assumed the role of Chief Risk and Finance Officer in 2017. On behalf of the executive team, I would like to thank the Board of Directors, our staff, and our members and guests who took the time to attend tonight's virtual annual general meeting. Thank you very much. As we move into the financials portion of the evening, I would like to hand things over to Manon, our Chief Risk and Finance Officer, to report on our 2019 financial highlights. Please hold while we transition speakers. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. As Jim mentioned, I am Manon Pascal, Chief Risk and Finance Officer, and I'm pleased to present the financial highlights for 2019. During this time, we'll be turning off the camera in order for you to view the financial charts in full on your screen. Assets. In 2019, growth in assets was 2.8%, down a little over 1% from the year before, primarily driven by slower deposit growth of 2.4%. Aviso Assets Under Management. Aviso Wealth provides Westoba the ability to offer investments in mutual funds and equities to our members. 2019 was a significant year for our financial planning solutions arm, with a growth of 18% over the year before. This was more than double the growth of that of 2018's 8.1. Net sales of $7.3 million contributed almost half of the increase, and the other half was a result of unrealized gains in the portfolio. Loans. 2019 loan growth was 3.5%, compared to 1.9% in 2018. Loan portfolio mix. The increase in loans was boosted by personal loans and personal mortgages and personal loan net growth of $92.7 million, driven by increased share of the Winnipeg market, particularly from mobile mortgage specialists and CUDF, our credit union dealer finance. Westoba also purchased about $15 million in mortgage pools from our partners. Deposits. In 2019, deposits grew by 2.4%, down from the 4.1% of 2018. Loans and deposits. In 2019, loan growth outpaced the deposit growth and allowed Westoba to realize improved liquidity by being able to be more aggressive in lending to utilize the excess deposits earned in 2018. Equity. 2019 improved slightly over the prior year as Westoba continued to have measured growth in its share capital and retained earnings. Equity. From the graph, you can see that as of a percentage of assets, Westoba continues to see an increase in its share capital and retains earnings, which have continued to outpace asset growth. Risk-weighted capital. Risk-weighted capital was consistent with 2018, with just a small deterioration from the increase in loan portfolio and reduced liquidity experienced in 2019. Net income. Net income for 2019 was $2.4 million and down from $3.4 million from the prior year, primarily due to additional $500,000 increase in provision for loans due to the growth in the loan portfolio and $500,000 unrealized losses on interest rate swaps portfolio from market expectations for declining interest rates in the next year. Consolidated financial margin. Westoba's financial margin fell slightly from 2018 highs of 2.11 to 2.04, due to a slowing of the interest rate increases from the Bank of Canada in 2019 and a tightening of returns in the competitive environment. Liquidity deposits at Central. Liquidity decreased slightly from 16% in 2018 to 15% in 2019 from an excess in lending over deposits. Interest rate swaps. The interest rate swaps experienced a further decline in 2019 due to long-term interest rate forecasts. These swaps were purchased as insurance against an increase in interest rates and are related to long-term loans which mature between the period 2025 and 2028. If you have any questions related to the 2019 financial highlights, we ask that you please submit them through the question feature now. Please stand by as we review any questions submitted. Thank you. Please remember that any non-financial questions will be answered in the Q&A at the end of the presentation. Seeing that there are no questions submitted, we will move forward with the motion to pass the financials for 2019. You will now have 2 minutes to vote on this motion. Thank you. The motion has been approved. I will now call up Don Green, Board Vice Chair, for the appointment of auditors. Please stand by as we change speakers.
Good evening. I would like to briefly review what we have considered in reaching our recommendation for the appointment of auditors. Firstly, the audit personnel assigned. A review of the background and qualifications of the senior audit personnel assigned was made to ensure quality audit work is performed. Secondly, the timeliness of service. The timing of the completion of the year-end audit is within our reporting requirements. And secondly, the audit firm is the audit firm's responsiveness to new assignments, special requests for reviews as requested by us from time to time. Thirdly, the quality of communications. The audit firm provides feedback on the weaknesses they may encounter during the audit in a management letter. This letter outlines any such situations in enough depth to allow the board and management to properly address them. And finally, price. We ensure that we are getting the best value for our fees by tendering our audit requirements on a regular basis. In 2017, we tendered our audit, and it was decided at the time that Deloitte met our requirements at a fair price. Based on the above, the board is recommending Deloitte as auditors for 2020. You will now have 2 minutes to vote on this motion. Seeing the majority is in favor, I move that the firm Deloitte be appointed as our auditors for 2020. Now I'd like to call up Liz Roberts. Please stand by as we change presenters.
I am pleased to introduce our three new directors, Jane Brown of District 2 and Rick Lucier of District 3 were acclaimed. In District 1, Scott Lamont was elected. So you will now have 2 minutes to accept, deny, or abstain from the motion of destroying the electronic election ballots. That motion has been carried. And please stand by as we change presenters and our chair, Jim Abernathy, covers the next part of the agenda. Thank you.
Our sincere thanks go out to Al Morgan and Don Green, who are leaving the Westoba board. Al Morgan is leaving after 8 years of service, and Don is leaving after 6. We would like to thank them for all their hard work and dedication. Both these gentlemen have provided knowledge and insights that have helped strengthen our credit union. We wish them well in all their future endeavors. At this time, we will now review any questions that have been submitted during the meeting. Please stand by as we prepare your questions.
Good evening and welcome to the question and answer period. We received a couple questions and one comment. So the first question was, how many are attending tonight's virtual annual general meeting? Thank you, Larry and Mary, for asking the question. The number is 115. We also asked a question, what effects, if any, to the balance sheet and income statement do you anticipate as a result of COVID-19? I'd like to thank our member Brian for asking the question. So in a real broad sense, on the balance sheet, I think it's fair to say we're going to expect a lot slower growth around loans and deposits. Obviously, I think everybody's aware there's a closure of a number of businesses. There's been some significant loss of employment, although some of that has been partially offset by provincial and federal payments. So I think you can expect in 2020 that the balance sheet will not grow to the extent that what perhaps members are used to. On the income statement, I think it's fair to say that Westoba will see reduced profitability, and I think there's a number of reasons for that. One of them is some obvious increased costs due to COVID-19, things like making sure our branches are adequately sanitized each and every day. Obviously, with a difficult economy and unemployment rising and businesses being closed, we are anticipating that we will likely be facing some increased loan losses over the next number of months and years. This will obviously depend on how the economy recovers. And certainly there's been a very significant downturn in interest rates. And certainly we see over time in our balance sheet lower margins, which also leads to lower rates lead to lower margins, which does tend to lead to lower profitability over time. So we're expecting some of those issues to have some significant effects on our income statement and balance sheet. We also had one comment, and we do thank all of our members for any and all comments. However, the comment that did relate to our retirement benefits, our retiree employment benefits, and is a matter of a privacy issue. So we won't be able to deal with that in a public forum. And certainly any and all comments from retirees about their private benefit arrangements can be directed to me after the meeting. I would be happy and pleased to meet individually with any employee that does have questions about the retiree employment benefit program. So thank you very much for your questions. Very much appreciated. As I hand things back to Chair Jim Abernathy.
All right, it's now time for our virtual door prize. We're very grateful to have a $100 co-op gift card donated to our AGM by Vallejo for our giveaway. A draw will be held after the meeting is ended, and the winner will be contacted by staff tomorrow to arrange delivery of your prize. I will now call for a motion to adjourn the 2020 Annual General Meeting. As previously, you will have 2 minutes to vote. Seeing the motion has passed, I wish you all a safe and happy 2020. And once again, thank you for joining us for our first virtual AGM, and good night.